Hi, thank you for tuning in. We are 15:15. Isn't that an auspicious number on Friday the 13th? Thank you for tuning in on this hashtag World Radio Day. Listen, Africa is taking over whole areas when it comes to radio. We're connecting all the regions, whether it's in West Africa, in Southern Africa, in East Africa, in West Africa. We're here, there, and everywhere. So our good friends at Khulumani FM are connecting with us. Okay, we have actually been getting to know DJ Nash a little bit, off air, as it were, and meeting each other and having conversations over WhatsApp. But it's time for you to meet them as well. Our good friends in neighboring Zimbabwe at Khuluma FM are standing by with the Vrpa Drive Time Show.
Oh, love it. DJ Nash, how you doing? How's it going there at Khulumani FM?
Hello guys, how are you? I hope you doing fine. Khulumani FM is on fire. Besides, this is World Radio Day and everyone is just enjoying. Imagine a world without a radio.
We can't imagine. Listen, DJ Nash, I need to ask you something. I need to ask you, is it like prerequisite for you to have your sunshade, sir? Because like I've seen all the legends, okay, it's not just you. You're one of them. All the legends that I know come to studio with their sunglasses. Is it like a prerequisite? Is it like kind of like bringing your headphones to the studio? Because that's our uniform on radio. And the sunglasses?
You know what happened? I even forgot to remove my sunglasses when I was coming out of my car to put on my sunglasses.
You look amazing.
Look amazing. And but for the listeners, I think I have to remove them and remember these are for legends. So the legend is going to respect them and remove the glasses.
For the legends. Yes, sir.
Listen, we are crossing over. We're crossing over. We're currently together with Khulumani FM. DJ Nash is standing by. He's the host of Drive Time Vrpa. And the conversations we are running today, because it is World Radio Day, we want to find out what impact AI has in our industry, if any. What does the future look like? And we'll continue that conversation in asking, are we living in a world where AI is welcomed, especially as broadcasters, or are we shunning it away? Artificial intelligence is no longer a concept for the future. It is here, and it is reshaping industries across the globe. Journalism is no exception. From automated news reports and algorithm-driven headlines to deep fake videos that blur the line between truth and fabrication, AI is fundamentally transforming how news is produced, distributed, and consumed. And on this World Radio Day, we pause to reflect on what this technological shift means, not just for innovation, but for press freedom, newsroom integrity, and public trust in the media. To help us understand the landscape of AI and the medium that we have, which is radio, we are joined on the line by Nazreen, Ebrahim, AI ethics practitioner and chief executive officer of Nash Consulting, and Bami, chief executive officer of Eden AI. Nazreen, thank you so much for your time and happy World Radio Day. Share some of your favorite radio moments. Nazreen, we'll start with you.
Hey, fellow anchor broadcasters, DJ Nash, Tebogo, Mmatsheko, and my fellow panelists, Bami. It's so nice to talk to you guys today. They say radio is a theater of the mind. We also know that on the African continent, we still look to radio as one of the key and primary methods and mechanisms to inform people, to articulate our thoughts and ideas, and they act as an extension. Obviously, it's a massive component of what a public broadcaster looks like. We know South African Broadcasting Corporation, as an example, in South Africa, play a fundamental role in bringing together most of the population to keep up with this, what the Presidential Commission termed in 2019, the fourth industrial revolution. But aside from the technicals, some favorite radio moments. I used to read the news in my very young days in a community radio station. I will still claim news, but back in the very useful days, there was a moment where I incorrectly pronounced a word. I didn't hear the end of it from an aunt at the time. So, yeah, good radio moment. And then there was another time where the anchor got really upset with myself and a co-presenter on air and let us have it on air. Yeah, some fun moments, but we move.
Really, really exciting. Okay, we're going to continue our conversation looking at the big theme around World Radio Day for 2026 after the break.
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu maswala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikike? Kweli, hili jukwaa ni la kwako. Piga simu au tuandikie kwenda WhatsApp namba alama ya kujumulisha 2760552594 na tutakupigia simu.
Mtangazaji wa habari zetu za Afrika Kusini mjini Johannesburg.
Hivyo unaweza kuwa mshirika kwenye matangazo yetu. Sio mazungumzo tu, ni fursa yako ya kuchangia maoni yako na kushirikiana na jumuiya ya wasikilizaji wanaotamani mtazamo wako. Tufuate kwenye mitandao ya kijamii. Tembelea tovuti yetu www.channelafrica.co.za na uwe tayari kushiriki na kuchangia maoni yako kwenye Channel Africa. Channel Africa, mtazamo wa Kiafrika.
Stella Longwe pamalonje
abanindika tswiri oyimba wanziko la Zambia amene ndi Isaac Zulu. Isaac, apa pali nyimbo imene munayimba yomwe ikuti manda ambeta. Nyimbo imene imakamba zotani?
Nyimbo imene ndinayimba zona ndikuchoka pasi pa mtima kama kakuona ma situation yena amene amachitika makamaka kukhala kwenga chikulisa achinyamata kapena azibambo titazibambo. So kambiri chimapezeka kuti azibambo vena aliko amene makandi mitima ankhanza osaziwa mosamalira banja kuti wachikondi wanga ndifuna kukhala mjira yotani kuti umulu wake ukhale osangalala. Lero zimafika pena zoti mwina wachimayi walemedwa nazo nkhanza za munthu wachimuna kapena kuti abambo khala nawo pa nyumba. Yana mafika pa mtima pokamba mawu kuti ine munthu amuna anga pondikwatira ananditenga ku makolo sanatenge musi mwa mtengo. Lero ni safe chifukwa cha chikondi. Kulibe manda ambeta ngakhale pita ku manda wina akafa munthu wokwatira kapena osakwatiwa sipama nembeka kutapa pafa munthu amene salepo mbanja.
Tengati wamphamvu kuti iyayi azibambo azisamalira bwino akazi osachitira nkhanza komanso azimayemera kuona mazunzo iyayi kulibe manda ambeta.
malonje pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo. Lowiruka ndi Stella Longwe.
Celebrating World Radio Day on Channel Africa. We are celebrating World Radio Day on Channel Africa.
Thank you very much for staying with us. We are talking all things Radio Day, World Radio Day, which is acknowledged throughout the world. And we really are paying attention to where the medium is at currently and where it is going. We've had our conversation with our good friends at Khulumani FM, continuing on and looking at the big theme around artificial intelligence and radio. Had a conversation with Nazreen Ebrahim, AI ethics practitioner and the chief executive officer at Nash Consulting. On the line with us as well is Bami Oni, who is a chief executive officer of Eden AI. Bami, let's talk about this age that we're currently in, because listen, we've got to evolve, right? At some point, radio was analog, and then it started to shift into other spaces like going digital through satellite, etc. And now AI is here. AI is here. So in this age that we find ourselves in with misinformation that people are bombarded with, do you believe that artificial intelligence is more of a threat, or should we be seeing it as an opportunity when we link it to press freedom today?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me here. I believe DJ Nash and Tebogo and Mmatsheko. Yeah, so in terms of AI and how exactly it impacts our world that we live in currently, I think it can be both negative and positive. Mm-hmm. You know, it's always very good to give a very, knowledgeable opinion of AI, especially because it can be used by the wrong people and then be used for negatives, and then used by the right people and then be used for positive. So the question is always, who is the actor that will be using the AI? And so I think, ensuring that, when it's in the wrong hands, it's limited, and when it's in the right hands, it's enabled, is the best approach to managing it.
I wonder then, because, Bami, you mentioned that there can be good that comes out of AI. In our context on radio, what does good look like in using AI to share stories, to create content? What does good look like? And obviously you did touch on what does bad look like.
Yeah, so in terms of what it does good look like, I think it's what excites, people, what makes also the presenter shine. I think that's what AI should be. AI should be a tool at all points in time that increases the ability of the people that are using it. So if, for example, I could do one talk show at a time, potentially, maybe I can do two shows at a time, or maybe with AI, I can have a lot more ideas coming to me and, go through a series of ideas and use that to sparkle new ideas that I can use, for my shows. Maybe with AI, I can create really interesting stories, and the stories I can articulate it very differently. Maybe comically, for example, imagine a lion talking. Really, you could use AI to make a lion talk, and you could play it on radio, and people will get an experience of what their dreams is like in reality. And so I think when you think about the possibilities with AI and how it could be helpful in radio, I think it would be helpful for those who are creators. So if you're a creative person and you want to think about, cool ways of which you can spice up new things, get new ideas flowing, create new experiences, and that's what it will give you, new experiences. You can use AI for that. Of course, then the negative comes in terms of impersonation, because now, you're a radio personality, your voice is out there. If people record you long enough, they can take your voice and use it for other things. Even these days you have apps on your phone that have voice recognition, to open, and with that kind of personality, a public figure like that, the impersonation risks are really high. But I believe, with the right types of AI being used to limit those risks, then we can move further and ensure that the right people are using it for the right thing, and the wrong people don't get a chance to use it in the wrong ways.
Bami and Nazreen, thank you so much. It's quite helpful. But my question will be, do you think AI is killing creativity amongst maybe the journalists in terms of research, maybe the musicians in terms of the quality of the music that they are producing? Do you think it's killing individual creativity?
You can go ahead and answer this if you want to speak.
I don't want to take that, or I should go ahead. So this is a great question, Tebogo. And you remind me of, I was speaking to a dean at a local university. Sure, you were speaking I was speaking to a dean at a local university a few days ago. They brought to my attention an article, I think in the Sowetan or the Citizen, about South African artists, particularly the artist who sang Jerusalem. I can't remember her name right now. Why is it? It's a Friday afternoon, so my head is full of information, but not with the one that I'm looking for. And also she talked particularly about this idea that AI has an equal role in the development, creation, inspiration of something as fundamentally creative to the human spirit and unique as music, which is an artistic form of expression. If we look at that, there are numerous other examples across the continent and the world, everything from every industry, fashion, music, speaking, presenting. What would that mean for creative industries? And the creative industry is obviously, radio falls within the ambit of creativity, depending on which aspect you're coming from, but also what I refer to what Bami talked about, which is to think about the most interesting and innovative ways to storytell, to keep the culture alive of what people can take away in as objective a manner as possible, entertaining as possible, but to get the core of education across to them. And it's just interesting to see how we are able to bring a sense of AI literacy, which has become an increasingly important topic coming into 2026 at the World Economic Forum in Davos earlier this year. That was a central underlying theme across all of the conversations, with massive panels, world leaders, heads of global tech organizations calling for people to be upskilled quickly enough to meet the rising demand of how quickly the tech is outpacing us. I think we have a way to go in terms of AI literacy, where the fundamentals of what AI literacy would mean. I developed a framework called the Quadrant of AI Fundamentals. They talk to 4 areas: policy, ethics, literacy, and governance. And I do believe that these 4 areas are not without their dependence or reliance on one another. They're very much interconnected, but they do need a lot of education around them. The first layer to start with is literacy, and that goes across the industry vertical of radio and every other industry that we have for the betterment of society and communities, I think, as well as creators.
What a time to be alive. It's gone 30 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. We're celebrating World Radio Day, and we've got our friends from Zimbabwe also streaming and broadcasting live, Khulumani FM with DJ Nash, and we're talking about the impact of AI in our space, in our medium as broadcasters. And I would like to thank both of our guests who joined us on the line, Nazreen Ebrahim, AI ethics practitioner and chief executive officer of Nash Consulting, and Bami Omni, Chief Executive Officer of Eden AI. Thank you so much for your insights and where the future of AI and radio will be, and what we need to look out for as we are currently practicing it. It's 31 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. We'll continue our conversation with Khulumani FM, but for now, let's get the latest sports.